Pixel 8 versus iPhone 15. I will test every camera in different scenarios while taking photos and videos to find once and for all which one has the best camera system, so you can decide which one you should buy. And this video isn't sponsored by any of these companies. I bought both of the phones with my own money, so I will say whatever I want. This video packs a lot of tests, so make sure you stick around and hit that subscribe button so we can get to 70k subscribers. You see, Pixel phones are famous for the smart features, and this latest version of the phone is on another level. So let's start with the key differences that make Pixel 8 camera better over the iPhone 15. As you will see, in some areas they're almost identical, like the image stabilization, but I'm getting ahead of myself. You see, these two phones are base models, so they might not come with the flagship experience at the first glance. However, Pixel gives you a bit more of the camera controls than iPhone. You can adjust white balance, which might not be a big deal if you're filming outdoors, but once you go into low light or indoors, then it can play a big role in getting the colors right. Now, if we talk about photography, both phones produce sharp and clear photos, but they have different approaches to processing. The Pixel 8 tends to produce more realistic and muted colors, while the iPhone 15 tends to boost the contrast and saturation. And it has a lot to do with the capability of taking raw photos. iPhone has their new format called HEIF Max, but I do not see the point in using it, to be honest, as the margin and gain of quality is so tiny. I would rather just take live photos and then adjust it in the future. While the Pixel has real raw format that actually gives really nice, not over-sharpened photos that do not look like they were taken on the phone. So just that makes the Pixel better at photography. I do not know if you ever use a macro mode on the phones, but I do from time to time. And there is no such mode on the iPhone 15. Yes, it can focus relatively close, but it's nowhere near the macro mode on the Pixel 8. You just need to activate it in the settings, and whenever you move the camera close to any subject, you get this macro icon on the screen to enable or disable the mode. Okay, but that's not the only difference. Now let's go and test it outdoors. Now, Pixel 8 has many smart features and modes, so one of them is called Action Pen, and I really like this mode because usually you would do it with professional camera and ND filters, but here you can do everything with built-in mode right on the phone, while the iPhone has live photos which allow you to do long exposure photos, but it's just not the same. Let me show you. So now I'm waiting for a tramway, and the idea behind the shot is that the moving subject has to pass in front of the camera, and I have to follow it with the camera, and it will stay in focus while all the background will be blurred. So this way you just deliver the sense of motion with your photo. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Now let's see the shot. Oh, right away it automatically added some blur to the background while foreground is in focus. Now let's see on the iPhone. Because it was live photo, I can press here and press long exposure. Let's see if it works. You tell me which one you like better, Pixel 8 or iPhone 15. I think Pixel is clear winner here, but maybe someone says this is more artsy. Who knows? You see, after using the Pixel 8 for quite some time, I believe this is the whole identity of the phone. Even little things like camera activation can save so many shots that otherwise would not have been captured. Another cool feature on the Pixel 8 is if I double press the power button, it activates the camera right away. So let's say I'm walking on the street and I see something interesting, I can double press in my pocket and have the camera open right away and take the photo instantly. Whereas on the iPhone 15, it's not as easy. Although maybe I'm overcomplicating it a little bit. Alright, now let's compare the smallest cameras on both of the phones. It's selfie camera test time. What's the difference between these two? So right now, this is the image quality on the iPhone 15. You let me know, what do you think? And this is Google Pixel 8. Also on the Pixel 8 here, I can switch between different field of view. So I have 1.4, it's a little bit punched in. Whereas on the iPhone, it's just fixed field of view. I don't know which one I prefer more. Probably the zoomed out version, I liked it better. In terms of the image stabilization, we can walk a little bit, but I would guess that they will be more or less the same because right now it's bright over here. So yeah, the slight vibration from me walking wouldn't be too prominent, to be honest, on both of the phones. And let me know what you think about the audio quality. This is the audio on the iPhone 15, and this is the audio quality on the Pixel 8 with the voice enhancement turned on. We have a little bit of wind, which probably is more prominent on the iPhone, and Google Pixel will deliver more clean audio, I think. Right now, I see the preview is way better on the iPhone, to be honest, because Pixel looks a little bit washed out, but I'm sure once I stop recording, the phone will process the video and it will look really, really clean. So if we talk about the image quality of the video from the selfie cameras, I like the iPhone better. It just looks more clean, I feel like. However, the Pixel 8 has cool AI features to make up for it, like best take. I saw many demos, but was not really sure if it's any good in real life. So For that feature to work, you need to take like 4 or 6 different photos in a row, and then based on that, the phone will identify everyone in the shot and give you some options to change the facial expressions based on those shots. Also, there is a thing called Magic Editor, which allows you to change the lighting in the shot and change the sky to, let's say, sunset. Or you can change the size of the selected subject to move it anywhere in the frame. And it's all built in. You do not need to download any apps. And you see, Google Pixel is all about software. If I turn on the selfie camera, it starts to lit up right here. It's really nice. Like all these little details. Look one more time. And if we talk about new features on the iPhone 15, there's Type-C port. Well, do not get me wrong, iPhone is a solid phone, but the problem is that in the camera department, Pixel 8 has so many awesome features, which might make me look like I'm rooting for it more. While in reality, no, it's just the iPhone does not have anything to counter it with, really. Let's take Magic Audio, for example. So you have control over your voice. You can make it louder or less prominent. Then you can adjust the wind noise, and it really works with the slider. It's really easy from 0 to 100, so you can make it really loud or decrease it at all. Or you can just decrease your voice and actually leave the... I don't know why would somebody would use it, but you can actually reduce your voice and keep all the noises in the shot. And with the iPhone, you can't really control anything. You just let the phone record, and this is the audio you get. Is it good? Yeah, it is good with the iPhone. Either way, you let me know in the comments which one you prefer, Pixel 8 or iPhone. Okay, now the battle between the iPhone 15 and Pixel 8 gets tougher because they differ so much in the software experience. And even based on some comments under my videos, a lot of people seem to say Pixel is better for photos, while the iPhone is the king of video. But is it really true? So Pixel 8 or iPhone 15, which one has better image stabilization? Let's test them. So 1x camera and standard image stabilization, let's go. Okay, now let's try the active stabilization action mode here on the iPhone. On the Pixel, the stabilization is called locked. And you see it cropped to 2x on the Pixel, and on the iPhone I can go to 2x as well, so we match the field of view more or less. And on the iPhone the resolution is limited to 2.8K only. You cannot film in 4K, but on the Pixel it's still 4K, so this is the difference. Now let's try to film and see how the image looks. To be honest, after I read the comments saying that the Pixel 8 has 0 chances against iPhone, I really did not expect much from the phone. But now looking at the side-by-side shots, they look very close and even identical in some lighting scenarios. And if you're looking for the maximum level of smoothness of the shot, then you need to use something like mobile gimbal. So let's do that. Alright, and we are ready to go. And in this case, I will not lose any resolution. My field of view will stay as wide as possible. So this is the benefit in having a gimbal like this. So let's capture some more shots. I know the image stabilization is reaching ridiculous levels, but there are some shots that would not be possible if not for the use of the gimbal. It has multiple modes that allow me to either go with the movement of my wrist and follow this object, or lock all the axes. By the way, dynamic range on the Pixel seems to be pretty decent too, where I can go funky with some FPV-like movements. Also, Apple or Google never mentioned it in their product announcement, but their image stabilization heavily relies on the lack of motion blur, so that means that the phone has to overcrank the shutter speed, which is needed to make every individual frame crispy sharp for the stabilization to work. And all this heavily affects the image brightness. So while the stabilization will work great on both of the phones during bright and sunny weather, however, once there is a hint of low light situation, both phones will not do well. And if you're filming in a rather dim environment, then something like gimbal or tripod will be essential. And this Smooth 5 I'm using also has a secret light bulb button, which, you guessed it, turns on the light on the back of the gimbal. But if that's not enough, then there is an additional magnetic add-on LED light with colored filters, which is more than enough if you're planning to film yourself or something within 4 to 5 meters away from the phone. Yeah, I was a little bit skeptical at first, but look how powerful it is. And keep in mind, I also have the studio lights right here, so yeah. That's a lot. So if you are on the lookout for a gimbal, I will link the one I used in this video in the description. So if we talk about the film and videos on the main camera, I would say that they are more or less the same, and I can't tell them apart without looking at the file name really. However, the ultra wide angle camera seems to perform a little bit better on the iPhone, as it provides the image with just a little bit less noise than the Pixel. But I could only see that when comparing the images on the bigger monitor. Now we have just a few modes left on both of the phones, and one of them is the cinematic or blur mode, as it's called on the Pixel 8. And this is the blur mode on the Pixel 8 and cinematic mode respectively on the iPhone 15. And one thing that iPhone might be better at is the resolution, because it allows me to film in 4K, whereas the Pixel 8 can film only in Full HD 1080. If it was in 4K, it just would take more processing power of the Pixel 8. So probably that's why they keep it with the Full HD only and don't have 4K available. At least I haven't found an option to turn it on. Now, to be very honest with you, I was a little bit surprised that the Pixel 8 can't film in 4K in that mode. However, while being 1080 Full HD image only, it still looks better than the one on the iPhone. And I think it has something to do with the color science on the Pixel. You see, iPhone might call it a cinematic mode, but it's the Pixel 8 that's actually tweaking the colors a little bit and adds that tiny bit of teal hue to the shadows, which gives more cinematic vibe. I personally did not see anyone mentioning it, and might be only me, but I do like the portrait blur video better from the Pixel 8 for this very reason. And when we talk about portrait mode for photos, then I think Pixel cheats here a little bit, because the widest camera right now is the 1.5x, which is a little bit closer than iPhone 15. And in that case, you get more portrait-like feel to the image. Both phones give more or less similar results, so sometimes iPhone gets ahead and cleaner background separation, and sometimes it's the Pixel 8. Okay, and finally it's low light. Tell me, which one do you like better? Personally, at the first glance, I would choose this photo because it's more saturated and it has more pop of colors, and it's the iPhone 15, while the Pixel gives more neutral and more consistent colors throughout the frame. But I have to tell you, it's very challenging conditions, so I have different temperature lighting all across the frame here. So while Pixel might actually give more close to life colors and lighting representation in the shot, yes, the street did look closer to what the Pixel 8 captures, but overall I prefer the iPhone 15 if we talk about the low light. For the daytime, I would choose the Pixel 8 any day of the week. But hey, it's just my opinion. As you can see, both phones have great cameras, but they have very different strengths and weaknesses. The Pixel 8 is better for still photography, macro and portrait video mode. It also has more smart modes and AI features, while the iPhone 15 has better selfie camera and sometimes gives better results in low light. But what do you think? Which phone do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more tech videos. Yeah, make sure to watch that video next, because I think it will be perfect for you, and I'll see you there.